welcome. Q&A Monday right here on Facebook and YouTube.
Fellow kitty lovers.
Hello, everyone. Look at all the YouTubers here. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time on a Monday, welcome so much. And for those of you guys that are joining us for the first time ever, and you're like, who the heck are you? My name is Jay.
My name is Adrian.
And together we are the two crazy cat ladies. And on Monday nights, what we do is a Q&A. So
to the best of our ability.
Just drop your questions like they're hot in the comment section, and we're going to do our best for 30 minutes to answer them.
Deanna on YouTube, first time making a live. Welcome.
Yay, Deanna. We're so glad you made it.
Oh, Madison is here for it. She's not
Anna.
Always here on a Q&A, but she's excited to be here.
Jolene has a question.
Go ahead with your question.
Whoa. No, it just went away. Hold on. My cat used to go on my tall tree all the time, but she'll go on it, but she won't climb high anymore. Is this normal? Do they get bored and then they'll go back?
Yes, they do. So there is a whole chapter in one of Pam Bennett Johnson's books. I'm reading Cat versus Cat right now, where she's talking about how cats will basically switch territories. It's like they like this spot for a little while, then they like this spot. Vertical space is awesome because it gives cats who may not be the most affectionate towards each other, it gives cats that place to be near each other without being in their space. So I don't know, but that is totally normal for a cat, especially on a cat tree, to be like, I like this perch, and now I like this one now. Go back to another. Nessie, your first time as well. Welcome, Nessie.
Leslie, how would you recommend Viva? We forgot to say Viva. Viva Raw. Yes, absolutely. Viva is a great company. It is one of the foods that we feed one of the brands that we rotate in and out of our cats' foods as well. I love that they come up with they have these specials. They're like, like we're gonna do a goat.
Oh, they do some really
we're gonna do,
awesome
novel proteins. They
came out with elk for Christmas.
Elk, yeah. How fun is that?
Awesome. I love it. Nessie, yeah, you can just leave your questions right here, and we try to catch all the comments. So let's do it. Hi, what is the new test kit for cats? I have 3. Can I use one kit, or do I have to get 3 of them? So one kit is for one cat. I know that that's tough because it's like, oh, it'd be great. But it is a saliva and a hair test. And there was a question on TikTok I wish we would have gotten to. It was blowing by so fast, especially with cats that are dealing with allergies. It's like a lot of treatments that are out there for allergies are the steroids or the antibiotics or something like that to really kind of suppress the immune system, when it's like, well, what are they allergic to? So this hair and saliva test kit, the Feline Essential Hair and Saliva Test Kit that we partnered with Pet Medela to bring to all the cat lovers out there, is a way that will test all their sensitivities. It will test their organs. It will test anything that's basically going on.
Stressors in their body.
And we did it with our Annie, and we did it with our Zorro. Already, we did 2 different kits for them, and
totally different
really
results.
Incredible results. They're
what we really love about it is that it doesn't come to you like many of these tests do, right? It comes to you and says, hey, here's all the issues that your cat has, right? Your cat's allergic to everything. But then no follow-up what do I do about this, right? What we love and why we partnered with Pet Medela for this is because they don't just offer you the test results, they offer you a solution to the issue. And they do it in such an amazing way by using their bioenergetic testing machine to scan hundreds of different homeopathic, natural product. Even our products are in their
we sent them all of our products to put in their database as well.
Yeah, so they can scan all of these different products that are good for cats or cat friendly, and find out exactly which product matches best with your cat. Yeah. So it's just amazing to be able to have a real answer that's specific to your cat. Like even at the vet's clinic, you're not going to get that, right? Like, I mean, usually you're going to go to the vets and they're going to say, oh, they have, IBD, protocol for IBD. Here's this drug. Oh, they have fleas, protocol for fleas. Here's this drug, right? And not anything works the same for every cat. So being able to do this bioenergetic testing to figure out what is specific to your cat that will help your specific cat. The owner said she's never seen 2 results, cats, dogs, people even that have had the exact same protocol. even if their stressors and sensitivities tested similarly, the products have never been exactly the same for two animals or mammals.
Mr. Milligan, behavioral issue. Both freeloaders, and that is his affectionate term for his beautiful babes, sudden stop eating at the same time. Change of weather from spring to summer, the new dining table, a new mattress in the spare room, too much for them at a single time. You know, you may have hit the nail on the head with the change of seasons. We've noticed a change in our babies being like, yeah, I just don't want to eat right now when we change seasons. And that is from spring to when it gets really hot.
Yeah.
Or
sometimes they want more and sometimes they want less. And it's
at certain times of day. Yeah. Now, we try to keep their routine as normal as possible. So yeah, if they want to skip a meal, that's fine as long as they eat their other meal. So I would just make sure that they're eating well. But you also really pointed out that anytime there's a change in our cat's environment, maybe it is a new dining room table or a new mattress in the spare room, that can be like, what's going on? May take them a minute to get their bearings. You know how oftentimes when you travel with a cat, I went through this, they just won't eat the entire trip. Or if you bring them into the home, we had this issue with Andy when she first came to us. She would not eat hardly anything. So it's when they're stressed or they're trying to figure out what's going on new in their environment, sometimes that will impact their appetite. But as long as they are still eating at some point during the day in a 24-hour period, I think your loaders are going to be just
freeloaders. Okay. Leslie said, okay, great. I'm new to the raw food diet. Not sure if I need to purchase a gang of separate items or just one alone. Thank you. You know what? I would recommend don't buy a ton before you try it, right? Most of these companies have samplers. And you can buy like even Viva, right? Like they now have the 1 pound sections instead of the like 2 or bigger. Some of them come in big chubs and you're like, oh God, I hope my cat likes this. Cause once I defrost it, then I've got, an X amount of days to feed it. That's also why we like small batch so much, is because they come in the 1 ounce freezer, like snacks. So you can just defrost 1 ounce and try that. But I wouldn't recommend breaking the bank on something because you're excited about it until you know that your cats are going to eat. We don't, other than fetching foods, we don't do that for any of the foods that we rotate. We do a small amount here and there because they have one food that they absolutely love. And maybe one day they won't because they're cats.
They change.
Because cat.
All the time.
Right?
Nessie, we see your question. How do I get my autistic toddler to be nicer to my cat? He is really stressing her out. Okay, so we have an incredible amount of compassion, but not a lot of intricate knowledge about autism. And depending on where your little one is at on the spectrum, I would, my first thought, and this could be an ignorant thought, my first thought would be, what about seeing if your little one wants to give a treat to the kitty, right? Like I know that can really help build positive bonds. If your little one, and we've seen toddlers that are being toddlers that just want to
toddlers in general
with a tail or something, and that can be very stressful. So I would, as well as looking at ways to build positive reinforcement with them, I would look at giving your cat some vertical space options.
Yeah.
So that your toddler can observe and get used to the kitty and
she can get away,
and your kitty can also be like, if I'm not feeling super comfortable, then I have some vertical space.
We say this for if you have a puppy or a toddler.
Yeah.
Like we say make some vertical space. Make sure that your cat has ample amounts of easy access to vertical space where your toddler, your child, or your puppy, or even other cats, right? But where they can't, like if they have excess energy and they want to just like play with them,
your cat has an option.
They have it to escape.
Do some vertical space and just kind of observe.
Yes. Themselves. Is it true that lab tests should be done every 6 months for cats, or is it okay to go longer? So what we say, Raz, is every at least once yearly, annually for cats that are younger. But once they hit those senior years, we want to do it every 6 months because things when our cats get older, things can change really quickly and they can go downhill pretty quickly. So we want to catch anything in our older cats for a senior blood panel. But for basic blood panels, once a year is fine.
And
I will be very
our
honest with
annual.
you. We are way
We're 2 months overdue on all of our babies.
More than 2 months. We've got to be more than 2 months. I think
April, May, June.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought we were like a year and a half or
March.
2 years.
We have to look. We'll have to ask Dr. Hannah, how far over are we? Leilani, how do I
Time
get
flies. I'm like, what? How is it a year already?
Come on. It's tough when we have multiple cats, right? Because it's like,
It
can we
is.
just get this one done in one fell swoop?
Yeah.
Leilani said, how do I get my cat's meow to come back? You know, we had this issue with our Jack William. He just suddenly turned into a quacker jack. Like he made this very hoarse sounding noise.
He's a very loud.
Yeah, he is a loud talker.
So it's called laryngitis. It's not always if it's coupled with other symptoms. We want to get to the
I
vet,
want to know, like,
right?
when did this? How long has it been gone? What was it?
But sometimes this laryngitis, and it might have it's something like laryngitis. It's laryngitis in cats, right? But they can also get it from just like we do. If you go to a concert and you're screaming at the top of your lungs, and then the next day you can't hear, like I can't talk anymore. Our cats can get the same thing. So if they are overly meowing, vocalizing, which is what happened with Jack. Within a couple of days, his meow came back. But if it's coupled with any kind of other symptom, or if it goes on for longer than say a week, 5 days, I would call the vet and just get him to get him checked.
Deanna replying to Nessie said, great question. I have an autistic 8-year-old that's been chasing our cats across the house. And as I said, I'm glad I'm not the only one that has this problem, but I also feel for you. It's hard because she's so stressed out. I just wanted to know that she's alive and can't hurt. Yeah, that's, it may be great for both of you actually to reach out to a behaviorist so that you can really figure out how to best serve your cat's instinctual needs, their need for feeling like they're still secure in their own territory while building that positive rapport with your little ones. Because I think that they're family. Right. So feeling behaviors could be a great help as well. Hey, Pam. Michelle said, is it okay to trim the hair on paws? Our babies have a lot of hair and it's hard to cut their nails. Any tips?
It won't hurt if you need to, right? But we always say don't trim your cat's hair unless it's needed, right? So if you can't get to their claws to trim them and without trimming the hair around it, then it'll be fine. But the hair is always there. The hair is there for a reason. And so, Annie has, and Maine Coons, right? Like
right. Those are snowshoes. They're meant to help with the elements. So if they're living in
inside
a balmy home
and things like that, it'll be fine.
It's not going to be a game changer.
It's fine. But I always worry. I'm not trying to be a worrywart, but I always worry of like messing up their balance if I don't trim it correctly. Or, it's probably not a big deal at all. And it will be fine.
Pam Russell is in the house. Pam Russell, you weigh in on this one. Stacy said, do you recommend metal litter boxes? We've heard a lot of great things about stainless steel litter boxes.
There's a lot of scratching that goes on in litter boxes. And so it's going to be very expensive to find the quality of stainless steel litter box that you can get that's not going to basically puncture. So we don't, not that we don't recommend them. We don't use them. I have heard of, people having great success with them. It's going to stay cleaner. It's going to be easier to clean. We use the totes, the plastic, big plastic totes, Rubbermaid
brands, but
those big totes, because they're cheaper than litter boxes. And so when they get, we can just throw them out and replace them. Yep. I know that's not really earth friendly per se, but it's that's what we do. Maybe we'll upgrade one day.
But stainless steel.
Hey,
Kelly Milligan King in the house. We love you so much. Yes, you better shop for the next Zoom at the end of the month. What is the date? The 28th? I think it's the 28th. I'm so sorry.
Why do you even try?
I'm trying.
It's like rude.
I'm sorry. Eunonia.
My
I'm
cat
sorry.
only eats dry food. I've tried homemade, cheap and expensive brands, mixing a little bit in her dry food to get her accustomed, literally everything, but she just won't eat it. Please help. Okay, so we have a full guide on our website. You can shoot us a DM, you can shoot us a text message, and we will send you that list on how, or that step-by-step guide on how to transition your cat successfully to a different diet, to a better diet.
I'm going to tell you this from the perspective of, and this is what she's saying, because our perspective was it took us 6 months to consistently. It meant that we wasted some food. It meant
not a lot though.
No,
once
not
we
a lot,
learned our lesson.
Because we did it. That's what's included in this guide. We did it in a
smaller
amount, so we weren't wasting like, oh hey, we're going to eat wet food now, and here's your meal. Oh no, it's a very intricate little dance of trickery that needs to be done, but I promise you it really can help. And God bless you for having the patience and perseverance to want to get your kitty over.
It can happen.
Gina,
the studies show, thank you so much, Gina. The studies show that cats, if offered a more balanced or more healthy meal over time, they will eat it, but that time varies. At the time that we switched to raw, our oldest cat was 18. He was the fastest. Believe it or not, he transitioned. We could have just laid down raw and he would have eaten it. We still transitioned, but within a week,
no digestive issues.
Right. But our youngest at the time was 6 or 7. And he was the one that took 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer to consistently offer and consistently add a little bit in to finally get him to eat.
My word of encouragement though is think about this, even with, and we've heard this from Dr. Besson said, I think she worked with someone that it took more than a year to transition their cat over to a moisture rich diet that was more species appropriate from kibble. But here's the word of encouragement. It may take 6 months. It may take a year, but the longest living cats live to be 38 years old. Ideally, we're going to get 20 or 25 with our babies. And you think about that amount of time in order to, it's a drop in the bucket with what it can do for their overall health. So
absolutely.
You got
Crystal, do you have links for your recommended foods? Yes, we do. We will drop them here, or you can DM us for our recommended foods. I feed raw, but always looking for new brands. Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa, for 100 stars for Mission Meow.
Mission Meow is always on the move, doing amazing things. Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Thank
you both so much for you and your products. James Bear is a month away from turning 11. Oh my God.
We got to meet James
Still
Bear.
no pain meds because of Catalyst and B12. Oh my gosh.
B12 is so incredible, especially for senior kitties, but
for cats with CH or something along the lines of CH, like James Bear. Oh my God, I love James Bear.
Cheers, James.
I'm so happy to see you.
Happy early birthday. Thank you, Nessie. I just got
Thank you, Rob, for 200 stars for Mission Meow. You guys are changing the world too.
Oh, yay, Nessie. I just got to tell our cat tree that should help, as well as the kitty lounge shelves for the wall. I'm so glad you got those too. That I really hope that makes a big difference. Crystal said supplements, yay or nay. Dr. Karen Becker says it best. She says, if you're going to do supplements, know why you're supplementing. There are shelves and shelves full of great supplements. There's
not a lot for cats though, except if you go to our shop.
Right. Not a lot that are feline specific. And our entire feline essential line are supplements for our cats for specific reasons. So there are some that are great for maintenance. Like if people ask us all the time, what do you recommend? Omega-3s.
Probiotics and digestive enzymes.
Those are 3 that are often lacking even in the most complete and balanced diet.
Raw foods,
even raw foods. So those we add into our cat's food all the time. When it comes to various things like urinary tract issues, yes, you can add a supplement. It's really going to help. But
they're called supplements, but they can also be used as alternative medicine, right? So you don't just be like, oh, that's a good supplement. Like we sometimes do for ourselves, where it's like I hear somebody that I truly love and trust on TV, or I guess it's always on social media. I don't watch TV, but say I take this supplement and I'm like, oh, I need that supplement, and then we buy it, and then I'm like, I don't even know why I don't know why I wanted this supplement, other than I know that like they use it.
Norma said one of my cats in the lattice of a year I'm not sure what that means, has gone to the vet because he stopped eating and being lethargic. In both cases, he had nothing. So this is, we were talking with Mr. Milligan, Mr. Rob Milligan, who's here this evening, about his cats and how their eating habits changed. Sometimes this can be seasonal. If you said that your kitty has stopped eating, very important.
And the lethargy
is
would worry me
concerning.
unless it's because they stopped eating. So this is, guys, our cats are not small dogs. So when they decide that they don't want a meal, we don't have to freak out, right? But we don't want to let them go an extended period of time without eating, right? Whereas your dogs, like
they can fast for
the dogs
days
can
and
fast for weeks, and just water, and they're not going to fall over dead, where our cats will. So
I mean, don't be dramatic, but cats can.
I'm not. I'm being truthful.
I mean,
I'm being truthful. So they'll develop something like hepatic lipidosis, which is fatty liver disease, and then where it will start to, this is something that dogs don't deal with that cats do. So we want to pay attention right now. I will tell you, we are struggling with our Friday girl.
Yeah.
And she was refusing so many meals that Adrian's hand feeding her some meals. We have gone out and bought all of the wet foods, all of the gently cooked foods, all of the freeze dried foods. We are like literally, if you saw our pantry right now, you'd be like, wow, you guys are crazy cat ladies. Because we're trying anything and everything because we don't want her to starve herself. And the crazy thing about cats versus dogs is that cats will sometimes starve themselves out of sheer spite.
Norma, though, as far as like trying to find a resolution to this, I know that you thank you for bringing your kitty to the vet because that is a big situation. I would suggest there's testing out there, like Jay says all the time, test, don't guess. And there are some great tests that are out there. I don't know if ours would be specific for this, but maybe there is a protein.
There is a
sensitivity
protein in ours.
I know that they test for that, but maybe that's the way to go. Our feline essential hair and saliva test. It could give you some insight into what these sensitivities are, if it is a protein sensitivity.
Yeah, but definitely try a different food too, right? Like when it comes to our cats refusing food, especially like it's out of nowhere, right? They're cats. So like they're eating the same food. They absolutely love it. And then all of a sudden they're like, I don't want that anymore. And they look at you like you have 7 heads when you're trying to feed them. And you're
Jay
like, but
gets personally offended by the look that Friday gives her.
She gives me this look like, why would you even dare try to feed me?
She gives me the same look, and then I hand feed her.
I'm like, I talk to her sweet. I'm like, you don't have to eat if you don't want to eat. It's okay, but you do have to eat at some point. But if you don't want this, that's okay. But I'm going to back away slowly, and maybe you'll eat. Do you want to talk or what would you like? Anyway, we want to, we want to add some variety is always good anyway. But if your cat's refusing their regular food, try some different things.
Hey, Sandy Cat, how can I gently brush my 19-year-old? Seems like it hurts when we brush her. Sweet girl. Okay, so number one,
brushes.
Yeah, I was going to say try some different. If you're using a slicker brush, which is our go-to, that could actually be a little bit. It's a wire brush. That may be a little bit painful. There is a new brush that's out there, and I love that the maker, it's called the Bailey brush. And the maker of this brush had a diabetic cat that needed help grooming, but it was obviously like painful for him. So it is a rubber brush with very soft, kind of larger bristles, but it does still help with the brushing. So look, it's Bailey, I think, Bailey brush. Check that out. But I would play around with the brushes, and I would also look at with a 19-year-old that seems like it hurts when you're brushing her. Arthritis can be an issue, and if they're sore and if they're whatever, maybe ask your vet if they do cold laser therapy. That was something that was a game changer for Oliver Twist at 19 years old when he started acting like he was a little, not wanting to be touched and loved on in the same way. So that's something that could be. I know that they make the Assisi loop. There's red laser, red light therapy. Yeah, those are more expensive things, but I would have your little girl evaluated for arthritis as well. And try playing with some different brushes.
A friend, we were passing the question I'm trying to read.
Sorry.
A friend of mine has, this is a new question. Both plastic and stainless steel pans. The natural cat litter sticks so much to the stainless steel pans. They're very hard to scoop out and clean. I will never get metal pans. See,
Yeah.
good to know. Like we learn from each other so well, right? Like, because it's a great idea. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right?
Stacy said, is it safe to give cats fresh rose petals? You guys have said that you give them dried roses, right? So we do get from I think it's Mountain Rose Herbs or Mountain
It
Herbs.
is Mount Rose Herbs.
We do get the dried rose buds.
They're
but-
not as excited about that as they are real rose
and by
petals.
they, we mean Friday.
She won't eat her food, but she will eat rose petals all day long.
And I'll tell you,
She's so excited about them.
yes, but I'll tell you that we were getting them from the market, and then we realized,
And until we realized that these like
don't
the
know where they
regular
come from. They're
supermarket,
so
right?
gorgeous, they last so long.
Yeah.
It can't be. They're sprayed with something.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
they're-
then you realize they're not organic. They're I'm sure full of pesticides and herbicides and things like that. And these are not things that we want our cats to consume. So there's not to my knowledge, there's not a health benefit from eating rose petals, but there's also not a dangerous thing. So if she loves it and it makes her heart warm, then we want to give it to her.
Yeah.
So we now grow rose petals or roses in our front yard.
You see all those roses right there?
Anyway,
Those are perfect.
and we go into the yard and get
some rose petals.
petals for it.
Yes. I know we are completely out of time, and I think we're way behind on comments. Judith is here. Hello.
No, we're good. Hey, Judith.
Mr. Milligan said sometimes they just need a little jump start when they get food reluctant. Gerber baby food often does the trick. That's a great point, Mr. Milligan. So
Yes,
cats that are.
That is a good point.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Takes a village.
Takes a village. So pure like meat baby food, not full of all the crazy stuff.
Make sure there's no onions in it.
No onions, none of the whatever, but just meat Gerber baby food.
It's
has been
oftentimes to entice cats to eat. For sure, especially if they're sick. Bone broth can also help with this. If you give your cats obvious, again, no onions or anything like that. So pet safe bone broth, or stuff you make at home on your own without onions, then it can also help entice cats and gives them nutrients when they're not eating. Totally, yes. I saw something. Oh wait, I just saw one more.
Oh, okay.
I love all your tips. No, that wasn't it. Where?
Thank you, Crystal. And I love it. You've got 6 babies.
Oh, I got your flea spray. Edwin, I got your flea spray. I just wanted to know how long for it to work effectively. Okay, so when it comes to the Flea X, our favorite natural flea product for cats, there are a few different things, right? So there's not, it is a replacement. This is not going to work in the same way that the chemical toxins do, right? So when you buy a Advantage or Frontline or any of these over the counter or at your vet stuff, they put those toxic chemicals on the back of their neck so they can't lick them because they die if they did. So they put it or in a tablet, but that goes directly into their bloodstream.
Or the flea collars.
And literally makes them toxic, so the fleas are not attracted to
So
it.
it's
This
about
is different. So it is about application, right? What we have found is that the most effective and easiest way to put this on our cats is not by spraying them, because most cats do not like to be sprayed. But spray it instead on a we don't have a brush, but spray it on one of those slicker brushes, those wire brushes, and brush it into their skin, because it gets down into, so the eggs, the larvae, those things can also be treated if we spray it on a brush and brush it. You can do this with your fingers too. You can spray it on your hands and brush it in and rub it into their skin. But if they have but if they have fleas and you're trying to get them off, then the brush is going to be the fastest, easiest, and least intrusive way.
Yeah. And if you have a flea comb, follow it up with a flea comb so you get that flea dirt out.
Yes. And then when it comes to our cats, it's also not always once a month, right? So if your cat is indoor only, you don't have a dog, you don't have a big flea problem going on, then once a month might be enough to keep the fleas off of your cat inside. If your cat does go outside sometimes or has a catio and is exposed to fleas, you have a dog that comes in, is exposed to fleas more often, then you might need to do it twice a month. You might need to do it once a week. You might need to do it daily during certain seasons when, or if you have a flea infestation in your home. It's safe is the cool thing.
Yes.
So you can use it on an as needed basis.
And Edwin, I just want to say thank you for this question, because it's a great reminder for all of us, as Dr. Judy Morgan pointed out, that fleas only spend 5% of their life cycle on a host, which means when we're using FleaX, that is 5% of the time that they are on our fleas that we have the chance to kill them. The rest of the time, they're in our carpets, they're doing whatever. And I just wanted to point out that with FleaX, this is a 4-ounce bottle. You can take 1 ounce of this bottle, mix it in a half a gallon of water, and you can spray it on your carpet, on your furniture, in the cat beds, on your patio, wherever your babies are going, to help kill the fleas in those areas as well, in a natural way. And this is how safe it is. You cannot do that with conventional flea treatments.
Oh, please
Why
don't. Please don't ever
love this
do
product
that
so much.
with conventional.
Okay, we are
Actually,
way
you probably don't
over.
want to do it with this either. It doesn't taste good.
We're
She
way
does
over
that
on time.
for demonstration.
And God bless Sissy, our Jen Noel, our beautiful moderator here. That is also. Oh, Tina, you get the last question. I'm sorry. Sissy, one more. Amina asked, a whole capsule or just a half for a 20-year-old with the creatine issue?
I don't know. I would look at just look at the instructions on it. It's been a long time, so I can't even remember.
Yeah, we haven't been dosing it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've used Aminovast. Great product, really good for cats with CKD. It was one of the products that we used to, along with ours, that we used to help stop kidney disease in 2 of our cats. So absolutely amazing, but I don't know the dosage offhand. I don't even think I have any left. So I don't know, but read the bottle. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. We love you guys.
Yes, and we will see you guys very soon. Stay tuned to our stories because we're building a catio this week.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Finally.
Love you guys.
Happy Monday, you guys. Have a great week. Bye, y'all.